Welcome to Don't Quote Me. I'm your host, Sean Hughes. This is a show about quotes. Of course, as ever, our team captains, Fiona Looney on Team A. With Carl Spain. Andrew Maxwell. And our special guest is the author of the Irish Mammy books, comedian Colm O'Regan. Reading the quotes is our lovely old actor, Michael A. Andrew, fact of the week.
Fact of the week. Some of the finest snowboarding in the world is actually in Iran.
I like it. That's very good.
Do you know when you book a flight and you have to do that pull-down menu thing to say what country you're in? Like, how scary is it if you've had a couple of drinks and you're on that pull-down menu? We're wedged in between Iran, Iraq and Israel. You know, one slip of the mouse and like that's going to be a whole different flight experience, isn't it?
I think we'd qualify for the World Cup, though, if that was our group.
We might.
The only thing is in that, Fiona, that it would probably, the intelligence services would not know why an Iranian would be flying Ryanair to Torremolinos.
Would you not just book flights the one day you're not drinking?
Yeah. Do you mean Good Friday?
Right, let's start the quiz. Who said what is always the first round? Fiona and Carl, right. Listing an occupational hazard in 2012, a familiar face from Irish TV revealed...
Bank holiday weekends are a nightmare. Expectations are sky high. No one likes working on a bank holiday because you're on a hiding to nothing if you get it wrong.
What does the speaker do for a living?
The weather. It's the weather guy.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Oh, it's Martin King. No, one of the other ones. The winky guy. One of the women. The woman with the dress.
Jean Byrne, Evelyn Cusack,
His television works.
Professor Aidan Nolte. Is he still alive?
Jerry Fleming.
Jerry Fleming, the winky one.
I said the winky one. That's
No, I'm giving them an extra point for that. Well done, Colm. Straight in there. Special guest gets it right.
Oh, well, we give all the information. Like, it's like I give you 20 clues.
No,
and then you just
hang
come
on.
along with the correct answer.
You gave
and
20 names. I didn't realise there were so many weather people in Ireland.
Yeah.
There's only one winky one, though. So
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you how to give out points, but you should probably get a half a point for getting me.
I don't want it now. Keep your point.
Oh my God, people are just giving points willy-nilly. The audience, you get another point there. Right, Andrew and Colm, which Irish showbiz star told the following story?
One fella offered 1,000 camels for me. We were standing on a pier in Egypt and he besieged me. And it went on all day, coming up from 200 camels. And this guy wasn't joking. He already had 4 wives. So what's a fifth?
It sounds like
Dana. Oh, I mean it. If I was a kinky sultan, she'd be the one I'd want to take to the harem.
there's a Mills and Boone book title that is just waiting to be written. Dana and the Kinky Sultan. Sing that song to me again, the one about all the things you like, he whispered in her ear.
Throwing dates at her Ulster face.
I'd say growing up in the north, she was probably offered, I'll give you 20 camels and 5 Benson and Hedges.
He's delivering the official answer. I'm going to also guess Twink.
Sorry, hang on a second. Colm, have you listened to the programme? Because you don't get 2 goes on these things. And now, what you've done, Colm, Andrew gave the answer. That was wrong. I'm passing it over.
Oh, like we didn't know it was Twink.
There you go. Point for Fiona.
Adele King, yeah.
Behave yourself, Colm.
What I want to know is, why do all these things happen before people go on chat? Like, you know, Twink would always go on a chat show to explain what awful thing happened to her the previous week, like her dog got stolen. Why wasn't she on the Saturday night show explaining the camel incident? That's what I want to know.
Did her dog actually get stolen?
Yes.
Sean, everything belonged to Twink has been stolen in the last few months. Her house, her dog. This is quite true. She lost a laptop and she got understandably very upset. She left it in the back
People
of the cab.
say they lost it when there's weird stuff on.
She left it in the back of the cab and she got really upset and she put out this appeal for it because she said it had great emotional value. Her daughters had given her a present of the laptop for her 50th birthday. Twink is 65.
Is that her showbiz birthday, yeah.
Twink is 65, so she's had a laptop for 15 years.
Or she's lying about her age, one or the other. But here's your question, Fiona and Carl. Which famous document opens with the words...
Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations.
That's the thing that was printed in rebellion.
Thing about
The proclamation of Irish independence from... Yeah.
Everyone knows that bit of it. Everyone knows the start of it. But you'd have to say, to be fair to the men of 1916, there were many things, but graphic design was not one of their fortes. And, you know, the print just gets smaller and smaller. And nobody's ever read all the way to the end.
Is that like the exact opposite of Star Wars?
No.
Yes. Yeah, it is, yeah.
In a country far away.
In the 80s, a lot of people could go to, like, Spain on holidays. You'd come back with either a proclamation of Irish independence or a wanted poster.
Yeah,
with your father on it.
There's a bonus point here. Whose signature appeared first on this document?
I think it's Tom Clark, isn't it?
It's Clarky, yeah.
Oh, Clarky.
Oh, Clarky, what a boy.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a card.
Oh, Clarky did great there signing that. He was first there.
First on the thing, didn't get a train station named after him.
Was it like you know, a birthday card at work? Well, it was just the last gap left, and someone just said, "Oh, yeah, whatever."
Yeah, great to meet you, Janice.
Yeah. Janice is leaving. Oh, Janice. Who was Janice? Tits. Oh, Janice.
That Janice.
Right, Andrew and Colm, here's your question. What's the connection between the 1916 rebels and the following passage in the Irish Times?
What is the fireside citizen to do with these hours? He can cultivate an easy conversation with his family. He can do some mending and painting. Best of all, perhaps, he can read Shakespeare.
Was it the fact that because of the 1916 rising, the broadband was down and so people had to make time and then make their own entertainment?
Close.
It's the GPO was the telegraph hub for Ireland, and that was one of the reasons why the men in 1916 took over the GPO rather than the more obvious one of Dublin Castle. They took over there so they could bring down the communication.
And also they made the first ever, didn't they make the first ever radio broadcast? But they had no radio to listen to it, so they never knew whether anyone was listening, much like the kind of experience we're going through now.
Very similar.
So what is your answer, Andrew?
What is our answer?
It's a tricky one, I must say.
It's something to do with the communications being disrupted. People had more time.
No, not really.
Was it the way of sending coded messages?
No, I'm going to answer this because I don't think...
Well, it's easy for you because you've got the answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to give myself a point.
You've been giving points out to people.
I'm going to give the audience a point.
I'd see!
Yeah, speaking of which, if you're going to give the audience points, answer it.
Give us the advice on what to do for citizens during the rising.
Yeah, absolutely. Another point for the audience. What's written down is really weird. It goes, for 1 month after the rising, anyone breaking curfew from 8:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. could be shot on sight.
When you think about it, it was during the spring back then, and that was such a cruel thing for Irish people to not be allowed out after a certain time, because literally they wouldn't have known whether there was a grand stretch in the evenings or not.
It's true.
The
That would have
clocks
been
have just
horrible.
gone back or forward, whatever they do then.
All the Irish were indoors and you could hear the British soldiers playing in the streets.
Is that why Glenroe used to be on at 8:30 just to get people in and kind of go, here's a bit of Glenroe?
Yeah. Right, musical interlude time now. Can you name the hard rock classic which features the following lyrics?
When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed. With the word, she can get what she came for.
Michael A., I've got Wonderwall by Oasis.
Well done, Michael A. Stairway to Heaven. It won't be long now.
I'm practicing, dear boy.
That is cruel. Sten a stair lift to heaven.
Stairway to Heaven was always a nightmare in a slow set, wasn't it? At the start, you knew what you were getting into, but then when it starts speeding up, and because you're Irish, you can't dance.
Plenty of Irish people can dance. They don't call me Snake Hips McGinty for nothing. Speak for yourself.
No, you have to pay them to call you that. That's what they do in that club you always go to.
Anyway, here's the question. Open to all. 45 years ago, Stairway to Heaven got its world premiere performance in Ireland.
And 44 years ago, it finished.
Can you name the city and the venue?
Belfast?
Belfast.
The King's Hall.
Sorry?
The King's Hall.
Ulster Hall.
Right, 1 point each. Kind of boom!
There's only 2 halls. When they're in the King's Hall, we're in the Ulster Hall. But weirdly, when we're in the Ulster Hall, they're in the King's Hall. But we're all getting on really well.
Right, I'm scared now. That was the end of round 1. No! The scores. Audience on 4 points. Fiona and Carl, 5 points. Andrew and Colin, 3 points. Michael A on 1 point. Right, this is Words Fail Me, where words come back to haunt. Fiona and Carl, here's your question. In May 2002, Fair City thought they'd put another episode safely in the can, but they were wrong. In it, the character Paul said,
Sure will be fine as long as he doesn't lose his head.
who lost his head forcing a Fair City reshoot?
A Fair City reshoot, that's like that Oscar Wilde quote, like to do it once is unfortunate, to do it twice.
Careless. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I've never seen Fair City. I'm playing out in the street when it's on.
With the British soldiers?
Sometimes.
Is it a decapitation that happened in the real
No,
world?
like it's an expression.
Oh, right.
The person didn't lose his head.
Okay.
As in he lost his temper.
What? And they had to remake Fair City
Yeah, 'cause someone
because
lost
someone
their
lost their temper.
Yes.
What?
Well, why is it when the viewer loses his temper at Fair City, they never reshoot it?
It wasn't Roy Keane, was it?
Yes, it was.
What? Why?
That's mental.
When he
They
lost his head
reshot
and left
Fair
the World
City.
Cup.
And what's that got to do with Fair
did
City?
they-
Because they were
shoot-
talking about Roy Keane.
So, did somebody in Fair City say something that was filmed in advance of
Exactly.
the World Cup? That
Did you think
subsequently-
Fair City was live, Colin?
Yeah, but
It
what?
looks live.
But what could have possibly that needed to? Oh, I'm glad Roy Keane is here in South Korea for the entire tournament with the team.
Is the answer Roy Keane?
The answer to every question is Roy Keane. No points for everyone. The audience lost one. It's all getting
A little known fact, ever since then, every time now when they're shooting Fair City around the time of a major sporting championship that Ireland are involved in, they have to shoot like 25 versions of what might happen. So like there'll be one that you'll never see, which will be like, that was some overhead kick that the Irish goalkeeper scored in the final, wasn't it?
Andrew and Colin, let's go on for your question. Which sitcom character famous for putting his foot in it ruined his chances of an Irish TV gig when he said,
I think the Irish are going through a major image change. The old image of leprechauns, shamrocks, Guinness, horses running through council estates, toothless simpletons. I think people are saying, yes, there's more to Ireland than this.
who said that, Andrew and Colin?
A sitcom character.
Yeah.
What kind of a sitcom?
What
it
kind of
was?
sitcom that there's a character breaks from having banter around the water cooler to discuss the evolving group nature of the collective image of the Irish? Exactly where does Joey say that? That's what I'm saying. Like, what point is him and Chandler having fun with their lazy boy chairs? Does Joey go, that's very interesting. But the
Do your Joey
image-
impression again there. Sorry, it was really...
That's very interesting.
Yeah, oh, incredible. It's like he's in the room.
Oh, well, okay, well, you...
It couldn't be more accurate.
Right, any idea, guys?
Yes. We think it is none other than...
This is like the way you buy time when somebody says, are you ready to order, sir? Yes, I'll have the... Del Boy. Del Boy.
Del Boy?
I don't know. He didn't put the accent on. I don't know.
The answer is none other than Father Ted.
No, I'll pass it over.
Is it Alan Partridge?
Yes, indeed it is, my friend. Okay. Right, to Carl and Fiona for the bonus point here. Steve Coogan played the movie version of live music mogul Tony Wilson, but which All-Ireland winning football manager had this to say about the man behind New Order and the Happy Mondays?
Tony fell in love with our family and everyone around the town. He came every Christmas, came at Easter, came at summer. Every break there was, he came. Once you were a friend of Tony, that was it.
I think
Go for one of the Dublin managers.
no, I have a feeling that it was Sean Boylan, the Meath manager.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That deserves a point.
Do you ever notice though that people always refer to impressive people in music as music mogul? Like you'd never hear someone saying like, oh, he's a heating and plumbing mogul.
You do have fridge magnets, though.
Very good point, Colin. Right, Andrew and Colin. This is a weird one because this was spoken by an android. The following line earned a British Broadcasting ban for an episode of which franchise? The offending words were...
The Irish unification of 2024.
This is spoken by an android
Yeah.
in a TV show.
How humanoid was the android? Was it a bucket with knobs on it, or did it look kind of human?
I didn't see the episode.
And it was an episode of a...
Franchise.
But like Starbucks or something.
No, I don't think it's Starbucks. Starbucks was a character in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Was it Data in Star Trek Next Generation?
Actually, you're absolutely right. Is it? I didn't know about Data. Is that the name of the android?
Yeah, the one that had a kind of waxy complexion.
2 points.
Little known fact.
That is your catchphrase, I've noticed. Little known fact.
Little known fact. It was a human actor played Data in Star Trek Next Generations because the technology to create a robot that good hadn't been invented until like last year.
Is that really a little known fact, Colin?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It was banned in the 90s in the UK, but it was finally screened in Belfast at a festival in 2007. Right, here's a musical interlude. This is open to all. Sticking with the band in Britain theme. Little known fact. It's one of the worst songs ever written by a Beatle, and it was banned in the UK. Can you name it?
Great Britain, you are tremendous, and nobody knows like me. But really, what are you doing in the land across the sea?
Buzz in
Yeah.
I have it. Give Ireland back to the Irish by Paul
Absolutely.
McCartney.
Yeah, and his band, name is band.
And his band Wing.
And for a bonus point, can you name the year?
Yes. 1972.
Good work, my friend.
The hardest part of that was that my guess was correct and not going, really?
For a bonus point, can you name John Lennon's song from the same year which featured Shamrocks and...
Drinking dreams from Irish streams.
Just name the song.
It's 1972.
That's not the name of the song. Andrew and Colin.
Imagine all the drinking dreams
Yeah, the
from
never sung third verse
Irish
from Imagine.
streams. You.
That's what he should have brought out, but he didn't. No one has any idea now. It's called The Look of the Irish. Right, a round of applause as we end round 2. The scores. Michael, 1. Audience, 3. Andrew and Colin, 5. Fiona and Carl, 9. Round 3 is the Big Brother round, where we see who's watching who and writing it down. Now, when files from the US Embassy in Ireland were opened a few years back, they contained reports on some of our towering political figures of the recent past. Who did the embassy think, in their words...
Would be a brilliant leader of any country.
Bertie Ahern.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, the American.
Over we go.
He'd be a brilliant leader of any country.
Would be a brilliant leader of
Any country,
This is what they put in their
including
files.
Peru and Saudi Arabia.
That's their thinking.
Was that the
Japan.
full quote, or was the second line "but here"? Or
Do you know the answer?
I'm gonna go with Charlie Haughey because we wouldn't have the quote.
Garrett Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I can see him being the king of Saudi Arabia.
Right, Andrew and Colin. Who did the embassy describe as?
Capable, high-powered and ambitious. Quite different from run-of-the-mill IRA followers.
Charlie Haughey.
Garrett Fitzgerald. No, of course it was Charlie High.
Whenever his name is mentioned,
Colin,
will this be?
say a little known
Oh,
fact,
sorry, yeah.
please.
This is more of conjecture, though, rather than a little known fact. But will I put it in anyway?
Yeah.
A little known conjecture, I'd imagine that in any given audience, when his name is mentioned, there will always be a ripple of applause for people who said, "Well, didn't he give the free travel to the pensioners?" No matter what happened.
Fiona and Carl, And which then serving Irish president did the file say?
Lives largely in the past. Drinks brandy straight. Likes all food, especially steak. But not fond of ham. Allergic to eggs and mayonnaise.
I would make a reasonably educated guess on this, and it's purely
That's
based
what you're
on-
here for.
Well, it's not really, but
Like grabbing the concept of the quiz rather late.
last show. I'm purely basing this on the little-known fact that Eamon de Valera loved his gargle. So I'm going to say Eamon de Valera.
You are absolutely bang on the money. Well done.
How is
Right.
that a little known fact?
No,
Irish man likes booze.
I was American.
He was American.
Yeah,
Cuban.
absolutely. Giving you an extra point for that as well. And the audience haven't got anything for a while, so 2 points to them.
Oh.
This is for you guys. Returning to hockey, legend has it that when the Taoiseach showed up after a key game of the Charlton era, one English-born player asked another,
Who's that? Prompting the reply, I don't know, but I think he owns a tea shop.
it really did happen, we're told, but when and where?
It's bound to be Tony Cascarino because it
Oh, no.
involves somewhere.
Oh, you
Sorry,
really?
what part of when and where are you picking up on there?
When? At a football tournament. Where?
On the pitch.
On the pitch. And between Tony Cascarino and or possibly Jason McAteer, who's famously a lovely man, but not all that bright.
I suppose it was, Charlie Howie was still around then. Italia 90, that's when he went out, didn't he?
Absolutely. And what team had just beaten them? He was famously at this game.
Oh, it was Ireland-Italy match, was it?
You are so on the money. 2 points for you there, fella. But it's getting tight now for the final round. Right, here's the scores now. Audience on 5. You can still win this, audience. You can still win this. Andrew and Colm, 8. And Fiona and Carl, now 10. Right, quick fire round then. This is the last round. Now, I think this is a really tricky one. Open to everyone, of course. Complete this quote from Ireland's first film censor, James Montgomery. I know nothing about films, but I know the
It was never said. He censored the end of his own quote.
So 2 words.
Dirty bits.
No. Does anyone in the audience know?
My job, 10 Commandments.
Audience, 5 points for you. Oh my God. This is getting so tight now. You are joint top. This could be brilliant. Because
So the Irish state used to employ somebody to watch every movie to make sure nobody was coveting their neighbour's ox.
this is all tagged in now. Can you identify the following movies from their poster taglines? And they all qualify as Irish under the grandmother rule. Falsely accused, wrongly imprisoned, he fought for justice to clear his father's name.
Oh, it's in, I'm in it. I'm in that film. It's
which
in
film is it?
In the name of the Father.
Which I am in. So yes, put the point down. Go on.
Yeah, I will put the point down, but what were you in it?
Sean, before she answers.
Which prisoner were you?
I'm delighted to be able to say the sentence, I was a screw.
It was a long time ago.
Right, here's the next one. This is the ad tag. It just says, brutal.
Oh, I know that,
Were you in it?
How many films were you in?
but I do know it. It's
That's
the
it.
Cour-
That's the
it's
entire
Courier.
tagline is
It's
brutal.
the Courier.
Brutal.
The Courier.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well done.
Wow.
One Irish reviewer called it brutal, as in crap, but the global distributors thought it was a recommendation. This film is brutal. Right, next one. They had absolutely nothing, but they were willing to risk it all.
Buzz. Is it The Commitments?
Why are you doing this imaginary buzz?
I don't know.
Just say commitments.
The Commitments.
Yes, you're right, absolutely.
Yeah, you were in that.
You
I was
were
in that, but you won't hear me talk.
You were in The Commitments, Sean.
Yeah.
Like practically an Oscar, well, not an Oscar-winning movie, but a big movie. And here you are.
Little known fact.
Little known fact.
Right, little.
Showbiz can go up and down.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right, here's another one. There's nothing quite about a romance like this.
Oh, I know what it is. It's The Quiet Man.
Yes, indeed, Andrew Maxwell.
Thank you.
Michael, were you in that?
Right, last question. This is quite tense, right? The audience are on 10. So I'm going to make this a 3-pointer. Because Fiona and Carl on 12.
You're so clever, Sean.
Andrew and Colm on 10. Michael's still alive. He's happy enough about that. This could be a first for radio where the audience wins the panel show. This is Guinness Book of Records kind of stuff here.
It's almost like a communist panel show, isn't it? Where the people win.
Wouldn't that be lovely, Colm?
Yeah.
And you can say, I was there when it happened. Okay, you ready? Everybody, but...
I know.
You come here for a second, sir. I just need some water.
That's the guy from Stokes Kennedy Crowley.
Sorry about that. I just had a bit of a frog in my throat and just needed to sort
That was brilliant. You've never been involved in corruption before, have you? He genuinely, it was like the Green Party TD on his first day on the job. It's
You're
not my
listening.
birthday. What's in the envelope? Welcome on board, buddy.
So we ready? Yeah? Everybody? More surprises than any film since Psycho. Oh my God! Well, that's the end of the show.
It's the snapper.
Unlucky, Carl. Unlucky. You all did amazingly.
More surprise. There was only one surprise. It's a dude.
There's a few surprises.
What was the other surprise?
I turned down that role.
Right, shall we give the scores up? Michael, still alive. Andrew and Colm, 10. Good work. Nearly got there. Fiona and Carl, a very nice 12. And tonight's winners with 13 points, the audience! Thank my guests tonight, Michael, Andrew, Colm, Fiona Looney, Carl, and the audience. I've been Sean Hughes. This has been Don't Quote Me.